Throughout history, freethinkers have outraged the religious with their wacky ideas about the virtues of free speech, reason, and of course, eating babies. Now, God is dying, and it's time to dispose of his remains. From the pits of hell, Satan sends two puppets of the imperialist West and the Zionist Jews against God, Islam, and tiny kittens to bring you their propaganda and conspire for a new world order. This is Secular Jihadists for a Muslim Enlightenment with Ali Rizvi and Armin Navabi.
And everybody, welcome to another episode of Secular Jihadists for a Muslim Enlightenment. My name is Ali Rizvi. I'm the author of The Atheist Muslim, and with me is Armin Navabi, who is the author of Why There Is No God and the founder of Atheist Republic. And we are just really excited about this episode. I've been looking forward to it for a while, and we are absolutely honored to have with us today Masih Alinejad. Masih Alinejad is an Iranian journalist, and she's an author who founded in 2014. She started a movement called My Stealthy Freedom, and she grew up in Iran. I think she spent about 30 years in Iran, and where the headscarf covering the hair with the hijab is mandatory. And she took off her hijab, she posted a picture, and she invited others to do the same. And that started a movement with just countless women in Iran just taking off their hijabs and celebrating their hair in a way. And that resulted in a book called The Wind in My Hair, My Fight for Freedom in Modern Iran, which has just gotten glowing reviews. I read the most recent one I read by Rafia Zakaria in the New York Times. Armin read the book in 3 days. He was so riveted, Masih. So he's going to talk to you about that a lot.
I read the book here. I'm glad.
Yeah. No,
oh my God, it was one of the best books I've ever read. I've never been both educated and entertained at the same time by a book. I honestly, I thought it's going to be mostly about hijab and women's rights, but it was that and way more. It was such an emotional roller coaster. It was funny. It was sad. It was I didn't know I was going to learn about Iran so much.
Yeah, you can laugh at the same time and cry.
Right.
It's an amazing book, and it's just
Talk about the book first. I'm really happy to hear about it, because mostly when I meet Iranians who criticizing the book, they never read the book, and I just get surprised that every time when I get criticized from Iranians, I ask them, "Did you read the book?" They say no, but the picture shows everything, the title shows everything. Come on, guys, I have to read the book first.
That's a very common thing with authors. I have the same kind of issue. I mean, people make all these assumptions about what's in the book, and it's just I just tell them, just read the book.
I made an assumption that it's going to be about hijab and women's rights. But it was way more. If you want to learn about Iranian politics and how everything works behind the scenes, because most of us that study it, we know things by studying it, but you know it from behind the scenes. You went to the majlis, you were working with the politicians, you were interviewing it. Like I did not know most of the stuff. And I did not know how much you were part of the headlines that I have experienced in my childhood. Like, I was like a lot of times they're like, "Oh, wow, that was you?" And then another thing happens. Like, "Oh my God, that was you as well. I remember this."
You are truly, I gotta say, you're a hero. I mean, not just My Stealthy Freedom is an amazing thing. You're a hero to women worldwide and men. But I think to everybody, because of just all of the work you've done, I think your career starts pretty early, and you've been active the entire time. So you really are an inspiration for everybody. And I think one of the things that we want to do in this podcast, which I've heard some of your other interviews, but really get into the book and go beyond, like, as
I have so many questions.
I'm ready, guys. I'm ready.
Okay. Perfect. So I'm gonna go with the first question.
Okay.
Sure.
The first question is your original name was Masume, right?
Yes.
But your name is now Masih. All right. So how did that come about, and what is the story?
Oh my God!
This is in the book, by the way. So
yeah. Masih, it's a common name for men in Iran. It means Jesus. But the thing is, when women want to have nickname. They just, short they name to Masume. The short name and nickname is Masih. In Persian, like Mim, Sad, Masih, without H at the end, doesn't mean like Jesus. And it was a name actually, oh my God, my first boyfriend named me Masih, and he was a poet. And the poem actually he wrote for me was like, همه صدات میکنن مسیح اما مسیح من وقتی تاج خار به سرت زدن تازه اول بهاره. Oh, Armin, you have to help me.
Okay, can you do one line by line?
Yeah. Okay. همه صدات میکنن مسیح.
Everyone calls you the Messiah.
No, Masih. Mim, sad, it doesn't make.
Masih. Okay. So it sounds like is the Messiah, but it's just a short for a word which is Masume. So, but it sounds like Masih, but it doesn't. Yeah, okay. So it's a play on words.
Yes, but it doesn't make any sense. Right. So to him, it was like Messiah. So he said that, but I'm going to call you Messiah. And remember, in the poem, he said that, remember, هر وقت تاج خار به سرت زدن تازه اول بهاره.
Oh, so they say, and remember, whenever they put the thorny crown on your head, which is...
it's just the beginning of spring.
It's just the beginning of spring. And basically what it means is a metaphor whenever they start persecuting you, attacking you, whenever the hardship starts, that's just the beginning. Things are going to turn for the better.
Yeah. That's just the beginning of your struggle. And
that's beautiful.
Look at the future. So he was my boyfriend, and we went, both of us, we got involved in the political activities, which I'm going to go on details later on, and then end up to be in prison both together. So we got married, we have a child, my son, Puyan. So, but he left. I think he was the first one with the thorn of, crown of thorn on my head, and he left me, but I liked the name, so I kept it. Right. And then it became my pen name. So that's why my name is Masih Alinejad. I'm a troublemaker.
Yeah. So speaking of troublemaking, you were first arrested in 1994.
Yeah.
Correct? Was that the first time when you were producing, I think, the materials or pamphlets, and they were anti-government? They were criticizing government.
I was in a small village in northern Iran, and I grew up in a really, really religious and traditional family. My father was part of Basiji, and oh my God, when people ask me these days that why you publishing the videos of those traditional people who are telling other women, cover yourself, behave Islamic way, why your hair is out of your scarf and this kind of thing. They say that, imagine this is your father. Why you're doing this to traditional people? I did that to my father as well because I love him. I loved my father all my life and still love him. But I think if we want to have a revolution against the regime, first we have to start our own revolution from our own, house. So I grew up in a small village, and my father was part of Basiji. And
can you explain what Basiji is for the audience? We know what it is, but
Basiji is part of Ramin. Come on.
Oh, so the Islamic so when Khomeini came to power, he created the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, because he didn't want a coup d'etat to happen because the Artesh was from Shah, and the IRGC is he wanted, so he made a
the Revolutionary Guards.
Yeah, the Revolutionary Guard. So the Islamic Revolutionary Guard has 5 separate parts, which is the Navy, the ground force, the Air Force, the Quds Army, which is for foreign things, and this one is the Basij, which is the people on the ground responsible for morality stuff.
Not pressing people, like saying that this is our responsible to do, advise people to do. But it's like part of
the religious police in a way.
Yeah, it's a religious police. We call them Basiji, but they are part of the Revolutionary Guard as well.
And they get a lot of favors. For example, I went to Tehran University because I studied the shit out of my everything. But then I had to go sit next to Basijis, and they were like, because they just got in because they were Basijis. And they get so many different favors.
My father was the one actually part of the Basiji in a small village, never getting any benefits. That actually hurts me because he was a poor farmer and doing a lot to, to warn other young people in the village to behave in Islamic way without getting any benefits from the government, because they were like the farmer and they were like brainwashed to do these things.
Right.
So, and I wanted to criticize the society. I wanted to educate the society. I couldn't do anything. I was only 19-year-old. That's why I got involved in student activities with my, my brother, my ex-husband, and my ex-sister-in-law, and other, young people in my high school. We were spreading pamphlets around to educate people that let's, educate ourselves, let's educate the society, and not being the tool for the government of Iran to oppress each other, to stand up against each other. So the pamphlets were actually, we were like reading the books and making summaries of the books, like forbidden books, underground books, and spreading that in the town, Babul, this whole town, and in high schools. That's all. So, but we got arrested, all of us, without being able to have our own, lawyer. We sent to the court. My brother got into prison for 3 years and a half. My ex-husband for 6 months, and I got into prison for 1 month. But I was pregnant. So that's why I got free when,
You found out that you were pregnant when you were in prison, right?
Oh my God, this is the funny part of the book, because I was a village girl and I grew up in a really, really strict family. And I didn't, Armin, we don't have any education. We didn't have, I'm talking about 20 years ago. We didn't have any education about, our sexuality, about sex in high school, in middle school, nothing. So when I didn't get my period, I was really excited. Yay, I can do whatever I want. I can jump around. I can run around. But I didn't know that this is the sign of being pregnant. And I remember when we were getting arrested, my ex-husband came to me and said that, you didn't get your period. You have to go to a doctor. And I think you're pregnant. I said, shut up, because that was my first relation. That was my first, boyfriend, first sex, everything first from the beginning. I had no knowledge about that. When I got into prison, then my interrogator came to me and said, did you get your period? And that time, first they sent a female interrogator. He was not an interrogator. They sent a female officer. And she asked me, did you get your period? And I said, no. And then I saw my interrogator came to the cell, and then he brought like a basket of apple. And he said that, so why didn't you tell us you're pregnant? I said, what? I'm not. I said, no, your husband said that you're pregnant. So, and they were scared of, hurting me. Then it's going to be a scandal.
Right. They were so mean to you until they found out that you're pregnant in prison.
They didn't want to make a scandal.
It was like, do you watch Handmaid's Tale?
Sorry, say that again?
You watch Handmaid's Tale from, do you see how it reminded me of that, because it's a very like Christian religious, and they were treating the woman really badly, but as soon as they found out one of them is pregnant, all of a sudden, it was just like, oh my God, this is so much like Handmaid's Tale.
It's almost like the women are the vehicle for whatever that,
right.
That's part of the whole Christian evangelical thing behind the whole pro-life thing. Right?
I think they were more worried about making a scandal for themselves.
Right.
Because,
okay.
Armin knows that. Actually, you know that. When in Iranian society, you say that a woman being beaten up by police, like people, some ghayrati mishan. So, and then it can be...
Yeah.
So, that's why I think they become really nice, and they say that, so you're going to just get out of the prison, go and raise up your kids, and this, that's all. But the thing is, I was only 19-year-old, and when I found that, oh my God, I'm pregnant, my sister-in-law, my ex-sister-in-law, she was with me in jail, and she was only 17-year-old, We were just, teenagers. And then I was like, what can I do? I didn't want to have the baby, because the interrogator actually told me, you cannot see your husband and your brother, never. You won't be able to see them, never. And I was like, oh my God. So what I'm going to do with my baby? So as soon as I got out of the prison, I went for abortion, as you read on the book.
Right.
Yeah. What are can you get abortions in Iran?
Guilty. My son, if he listens to this, I feel guilty. Actually, he's going to read the book right now.
Yeah.
He's going to read the book. Why do you feel guilty? What do you feel guilty about?
My God. He knows that because I wrote a book in Persian as well. And he said to me once that my auntie, my ex-sister-in-law, she was with me in jail. She read the book for Puyan, for my son. And he was like, "You were going to kill me?" When he said that to me when he was only 14. I said, "Yeah, because your dad was not around." And we just made it like a joke. We were not that serious.
Yeah.
But yesterday he told me that he's going to read the book. He was so excited. He read the acknowledgement. He got a lot of comments from, his friends. And then he was so excited to read the book. And I said, "Okay, anytime you feel bad, just come to me. I'm going to explain to you."
Yeah. So you didn't get the abortion, right?
No, I didn't, because it's forbidden and
in Iran, right?
But my mom was actually, after the revolution, she wanted to get an abortion, and she went from one doctor, not me, so there was apparently somebody before me, but he's dead now. But my mom went from doctor to doctor to doctor, and they kept on saying no. And my mom kept on begging them. She said there's no way she could have a baby right now. And then the final doctor that she went to, he said he can't do it, but I'll show you how to do it with a coat hanger. And she went to her university dormitory in Shiraz, and she did what the doctor said. And she said, she flushed the fetus down the toilet, and she was saying, going down the toilet. And she said she was losing so much blood. The entire mattress in the dormitory was blood. She almost died because of how much blood she lost.
Armin, I didn't even.
I feel bad.
I didn't even know this.
Oh,
yeah.
That's wow.
No, I couldn't do that because it was illegal, and then I had no way to have it. And I'm so glad. I'm so happy that I have my son, as I read in my book. Right. I wrote in my book. He is my everything. He's like he makes me laugh. He makes me cry. He makes me be hopeful, and he is the one that actually pushed me to go for my goal. So you see, this is now. I'm so proud of having him. But the thing is, in that time, I felt miserable because I didn't do anything to deserve being in prison. And the judge, actually, Babایی, I don't remember the first name, but his name was Babایی. He was the judge of Dadgah Enqilab, the Revolutionary Court. And he told me that we have enough evidence to execute you. I was only 19-year-old, and I thought, oh my God, he's serious. He was not. He was just threatening us. He was just trying to make us scared. And I was like, oh my God! And I begged him with my ex-sister-in-law, begged him to let us, free.
Yeah.
So you see, in this situation, I couldn't have my baby.
And let's just be clear: this was over just a book club. Okay, so this was just a book. You guys basically got together. You're like, some of you said okay, the history that we're learning seems not accurate. We're not getting good information. This was just some kids in the high school getting together, reading some books. Then they got suspicious when you guys decided to advertise your secret. It's actually very cute. This is the stuff that should be encouraged. Yeah, you're like, let's make pamphlets. You just had one guy that wanted to. So your first name was Faryad Ahangar, right? Which is
Faryad Kaveh.
Faryad Kaveh. Okay. Kaveh Ahangar. Yeah.
Army, don't forget that.
Yeah.
They were scared of any underground activities. Doesn't matter where you were, just a book club or a political party, or they were always scared of people getting together, a group of people. Getting together underground and doing something. In my opinion, having underground party is not as dangerous as having underground party. I mean, just dancing and having fun together, girls and boys.
Well, let's just be clear to the audience. Why people are like, why would you be underground? Because parties are having fun is illegal in Iran, so that's why it's underground parties. But yeah, go on.
Yeah. So for the government of Iran, having underground book club is more scary, is more, is more scary or like considered as a threat.
Yeah.
Rather than having a mixed party and dancing together underground. That is why actually they were they arrested us and they made us to do false confession that we're not going to get together again. But
you were reading books on human rights and free speech. You were reading the United States Constitution. I think that was one of them. Yeah.
So, it was all about books that we were not allowed to read in our high school.
How did you get these books? Like, because I remember reading some books that I was surprised I managed to get my hands on as well when I was there. So people ask me, how did you read those books?
Yeah, like Ahmad, one of the person in our group, and other people who were like from different groups that before the revolution they had their own libraries, personal libraries, private libraries, and we got to know them from one of the person in our group who got actually executed. He was part of So, but the thing is that actually gave me the opportunity to understand that in Iran, in Islamic Republic of Iran, you can't do anything underground or on your own. That was actually the first step for me to get involved in reformist group, because I got the point that, okay, now my brother went to prison and he had actually 3.5 years into prison, but there is some kind of thing like afber rahbari. You get, I don't know how to say that, but when it's your first time to go in prison, you get you
get pardoned for good behavior.
If it's your first time, you get that anyway.
Yeah.
So he got that. So he was in prison for 2.5 years. My ex-husband was in prison for 6 months, and we lost everything. I was not able to go to university. We lost everything. We were not able to get involved in social activities, in any job in governmental institutions. So it was really tough for us. And I found out that I still have my questions and I have my criticism, but what can I do? That's why I decided to go to newspapers for the reformist group and do my mom used to say that anytime when you get locked in هر وقت پدر تو از یه اتاقی بیرون مینداخت تو همیشه پنجره پیدا میکردی که بری تو. So in that, yeah.
So your mom used to tell you that every time your dad throw you out the door, you would find a window to get back in.
So they actually, when they got me, when they interrogated me, they threatened me. I was looking for a window to sneak into the same room to ask my questions. And then I found the reformist newspaper. So that's why I decided to go to the newspaper Hambastagi and I started my work as a journalist.
Right. Can we go a little bit earlier in the book? Because when the childhood part was pretty interesting. By the way, Ali, keep an eye on the Patreon questions in the live chat as well if you can.
I am. Yeah, I'm doing that.
When you were in class, you asked a very daring question at your teacher. You asked if one God was good, why not have two gods? Two gods would be better. This way, if one god is sending earthquakes, maybe the other gods could come in and be like, no, that's a bad idea. Have some checks and balances. Yeah.
I was so innocent. And that was actually a good question,
It's a very good question. Yeah.
And my teacher we call them مربی پرورشی, معلم پرورشی. I don't know how does it go like if people in the West understand that.
Development?
Yeah.
Okay.
Developing.
So parvarish in Urdu means nurturing.
Yeah.
Maybe your Islamic knowledge.
Yeah.
So her name was Tagizadeh. So, it was really, really scary to ask such questions. But I asked it in a really innocent way that, okay, I really believe in what you said. That, we have one God because it's impossible that we have such a world, then we have to look for a creator. So when God is really good, why don't we have two gods? And she got really mad. So, and I cannot remember that her face, she was like, But the way that she patronized me, she said that you're from a village. Because my high school was in a... Dehati. Yeah. You know that Dehati is a push.
Yes. It's an insult.
Insult. Yeah, when people in Tehran, not all of them, not all of them, but it's a common insult to say that you're from a village, you're a village girl. So she said that, and it broke my heart when she said that. So you're a Dehati. You've never been in, Western country, even to understand that if there is another God, maybe the other God lives in such countries. And I was like, okay, so have you been in Asian countries? Maybe the other God lives in other countries, in other sides of the world. And then I got myself into trouble.
But you later on, I don't know if it was then or later on, you challenged your teacher with the argument of design as well. You're like, okay, if everything is design, if everything that is designed, obviously as a creator, so God is also who created God then, right?
I mean, honestly, I think everybody has this question. They just don't dare to ask.
Right. It's true. It's such an obvious question. I think we've all had it since we were...
We've been told. Armin, you know that, and I think, Ali, you know that as well. We've always been told that God is not questionable. Religion is not questionable. Don't ask any question because عقلتون قد نمیده. And I didn't, why عقلتون قد نمیده? Let's work in our عقل.
Well, what is that phrase, Armin?
It means your brain does not have the capacity to think about these things. And his response was, well, then let's work on our brains so they get to give it the capacity.
And every
it's
Iranian...
a vicious cycle, right?
Every Iranians know this expression that خدا فراتر از عقل شماست. عقلتون قد نمیده. So as a teenager, I had this question: that how come, if God created such a world, then God, who created the God? And then she got really mad and she expelled me from the class.
I wonder if they imagine that this girl that they're expelling from the kicking out of the class, she's going to be one day the hopes and dreams of so many women, the voice of so many other women. From this Dehati little girl that they saw, like this, she's going to be the girl that so many people are hoping that seeing as an amplifier to their voice, people that have been ignored. I mean, this is amazing. I hope all of these people remember you and be like, oh, I remember that.
Armin, this is my dream. I really want to know where Taqizadeh is. معلم پرورشی, my religious teacher. I really want to know where she is now. The day when she patronized me, I want to know where the member of the parliament, Kurkan, Mohsen Kurkan, who expelled me from the parliament. I want to know where he is now. I want to know how these people think about me, because I was the one actually in a poor village, in a really, really traditional family. We had a black and white TV, and I was the one watching and listening to all the clerics. I was the one listening to all the mullahs who were talking about me, my body, women's body, tell us what to do, how to behave, what kind of lifestyle to follow. So we were the listeners through this black and white TV. And now, these are the clerics. They're watching me and they're listening to me. And that I want to know that, what they think about, me. Because when I say me, it means millions of women and girls like me. They always patronized us. They always humiliated us. And they were always like, you have to listen to what I say. Right. But now, through social media, it's people like me. We are talking, we are speaking out, and they are listening to us. For 40 years, for 4 decades, we were totally censored from Iranian state TV, Iranian state media. But now, we are, the newsmakers. We are the storytellers, and they're listening to us.
Oh, international headlines. There's videos. There's, it's incredible. What you started. It's just, yeah.
Along those lines, one of my favorite quotes in the book was when the women in Iran were being accused for working for you, and one of them got back and says, "I'm not working for Masih. Masih is working for me." That was so beautiful.
That's amazing. I'm gonna actually mention her name because she is the most brave woman that I've ever met in my life. Her name is Shima Babai, and she's only 23-year-old. And she got arrested for protesting against compulsory hijab before the Girls of Revolution Streets, which I'm going to explain later on about the Girls of Revolution Streets. But she was the one actually who joined the White Wednesdays campaign. And then she was sending a video to me from the beginning, standing up and saying, "Hi, my name is Shima Babai. And from the age of 7, I was forced to wear hijab. Now I'm protesting against compulsory hijab and in the street." And I was like, "Shima, are you sure that you want to mention your name? Because White Wednesdays campaign is a platform for women inside Iran who want to protest against hijab, but they never mention about their name. And I keep, their name anonymous because I don't want to get them into trouble." And she said that, Masih, freedom is not free. Freedom has a price, and I'm ready to pay the price. And I want to do that by my name because I want to encourage other people to join the campaign by their own identities. Yes. And then I was like, "Are you totally sure?" She said, "Yes." So I published a video. And then for next week, I received many videos from other women saying their names. So she did actually that. She encouraged other women to participate in a punishable crime in our campaign by their names. And then she got arrested. When she got arrested, it was me feeling guilty, crying loud, nagging to my husband. This is like, I was saying to my husband, "I'm not going to do anything. I hate myself. I feel really bad because I'm here. I'm sick." My husband said, yes, you knew all of this. No, you knew that. I said, yeah, but now I'm going to just close I really wanted to quit. But guess what? She got arrested. Just like maybe after 2 hours, I received a video from her husband. And the video was like, Shima Babai was standing in front of the court and saying that, "Hi, I got arrested just because of participating in White Wednesdays campaign. And I want to say that by arresting me, by threatening me, you cannot keep me silent. And I say no to compulsory hijab even louder." And she took off her white headscarf. And I was I felt guilty, but she did that. And then
in front of the court.
In front of the court. And I got a note from her that her husband said that, "Masih, Shima said that if I get arrested, Masih is going to feel guilty and she's going to close the campaign. So send this video and tell her that I'm ready to pay the price." That was the first time that she got arrested, and she sent me a video.
Masih, you mentioned in your book a couple of times that you felt guilty because, but the way I get over it, because we get videos and pictures from ex-Muslims all around the world, and they ask us to post it, and people tell us we shouldn't be posting them. But the thing is that the way I think of it is, it's not for us to choose. We are being their voice. They're asking us to do something. We are being used as a tool. We're trying to be their amplifiers. We're just doing. They are taking. They have evaluated the risk and they decided to take the risk. We're just doing what we're told.
You're right. They mature enough to make the decision, and they are aware of the risk. Right. But the thing is, I still, feel guilty. A lot of time when something happened to the women inside Iran, I get really desperate. I get really sad. It's beyond sad because they kick you out from your own country, and you still see this is happening to your fellow women, your fellow people, and then when I feel guilty, the only thing that I can do is just to go back to the women again inside Iran and ask them, what can I do? And you won't believe me that sometimes when women go to the streets and they protest against compulsory hijab, especially those women who goes on a platform in a utility box and put the headscarf and a stick, You won't believe me. Some of them send their mobile phone, the family's mobile phone number, their family's contact number information. And they asking me that if anything happened to me, get in touch to our family and be our voice, our voices. Oh my God. I said, oh my God. They actually know what's going to happen to them.
Right.
And my dream is that one day, when there is no, charge for these women, when we have a secular democratic country, they're not going to get punished for what they have been doing right now. I'm going to mention them, but these women by their name, that they were aware of the risk. Yeah. And well, I can name one of them, Shaparak Shahjarizadeh. She was the one. She came to me and she said that, Masih, I'm going on a platform. I'm going to put the headscarf on a stick. And this is my husband's number. This is my sister's number. This is my friend's number. And give me a number of a lawyer. If something happened to me, just be my voice. I was like, no, so if you know that you're going to get arrested, why are you going there? So she said that because this is the price that we have to pay. Look, and she was the one telling me that, look what happened for, women in suffrages. Women sacrificed their life to get the right to vote.
Right.
I'm going to do that. We're making history. So the day when she got arrested, I cannot even explain to you that I was with my stepchildren in a family vacation. I was like, just miserable that Shaparak got arrested. I'm going to have fun with you. The kids are amazing. They understood me and they gave me, space to do whatever I wanted to do. So I got in touch with the lawyer. I got in touch with the family. And then for 1 week, we just kept hearing that she got beaten up in prison. She was like, Armin, you heard that. She got like injection, unknown injection.
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah.
And I was like, what I'm going to do? Guess what happened, Ali? The day when she got released from prison, I received the photo, unveiled photo in front of the prison and saying that, Masih, I am free. I am proud of you. I was like, what? I felt guilty. I felt miserable. Wow. So, and that is what gives me hope. So these women are the Rosa Parks of Iran. These are the leaders of the movement. And I am just a platform. That's all. So I shouldn't feel guilty.
Yeah. Sorry, Armin, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I just want to know what is it? I mean, we've seen the scale of this online, at least, and we've seen all of those videos of the women. I mean, you've posted them, Armin's posted them. They've been all over the place, especially during the protests. But just on the ground, what is the scale of it? Is this something that is how big is it getting? Is it getting bigger and bigger? What kind of access do people in Iran have to these videos, to online?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Look, I strongly believe that when you, when you make every individual person that you are the leader, you are the change maker, you have your own agency, you don't need anyone to come and you. Then the true change is going to come within the society. So I don't want to say that I made them to understand that, but these women had a voice. They were already fighting for their freedom. They were already pushing back the boundaries. They were already, fighting against all the restrictive laws, all the Sharia laws. But they never had a platform. They never had a chance to be heard, to be seen. So when you give these women a platform, then two things happen. First of all, they understand that they are not alone. There are a huge number of people like them. And second of all, when they see their true self in a media, it empowers them. And it gives them the feeling that, yes, they have their own agency. And they can, be the leader. And that is why, through social media, I don't believe that we have to get all people involved. We only need to empower all those leaders. We have to empower the people who are actually willing to bring the change within the society. And then these people, when they found their voice, their agency, their media, they can go to other people and they can bring change within the society. So I'm going to tell you an example when you said that how many people have access to internet. Look, when I publish a video of an ordinary woman who stand up for her rights in front of morality police, that video actually gets 7 million views. When you go to the president of Iran, the vice president of Iran, Masih to the foreign minister of Iran, to the supreme leader of Iran, all together, they cannot get that much views. So that shows you the power of ordinary people who are actually bringing change within the society. That actually shows you the power of social media and, the women inside Iran.
How do you respond to the religious leaders in Iran when they say that this is just a few troublemakers?
Yeah,
making a big noise.
Yeah, he said that it's insignificant.
Right.
So it's just simple. If we are insignificant, if we are not that important, then how come the supreme leader of Iran talks about us? We are important. That shows we got him into trouble to recognize us. Look, I remember when I launched White Wednesday's campaign, Tasneem News Agency wrote an article and saying that White Wednesday is just dead after 4 days, but they're still talking about us. Nobody talk about a dead body, a dead person. That means we are there and they cannot control us. That means they found out that these women who are fighting against compulsory hijab, they are actually fighting against the most visible symbol of Islamic Republic of Iran, the most visible symbol of oppression, and this is just the beginning. That is scary.
I think that's really important. The fact that it's a symbol, because one thing I've noticed is that whenever you have protests, economic protests, political protests in Iran that we hear about around the world, all of us, this becomes a face of it. My Stealthy Freedom and those hijab videos, they really, really rise to the top. And that's what people see as the face of the protest, the women and the feminists.
I'm gonna tell you why. Look, people are fed up and tired of any kind of religion interference in their personal life, in politics, in a state, in even their rakhtakhab, when
in their bed.
When the supreme leader of Iran says that, bache ziyad biyarin. So anything.
Have a lot of kids.
So anything that you want to do, there is religion interference. As a woman, you cannot sing solo. You cannot travel abroad or get a passport without getting permission from your husband. You cannot be a president. You cannot be a judge. You cannot show your hair. You cannot ride a bicycle because it's haram, according to the supreme leader of Iran. So
you get half the inheritance money, and if you get killed, you get half of the compensation that a man gets.
And if you're pregnant as a woman, even if the baby, is a boy, get twice compensation. Did you know that?
Oh wow, I didn't know that. So the boy in your belly is worth more than yourself.
That's it. Yeah. So when you see all these together, people get lashes if they have mixed party. Mm. People get lashes if they drink alcohol. So all this comes from what? Religion interference in your personal life, and that matters for every individual person. They can relate with this.
I remember from your book, by the way, there's so many stories in this book. Like, this is just scratching the surface. Okay, you guys, if you guys want to be entertained and learn about Iran and religion and the influence, there's no better way. Oh, Masih just went.
I need some light. Sorry about that, but
I got some light.
No, that's okay. Yeah. But there's no better way to get informed and in an entertaining way than reading this book. So, but one of the stories was a politician lady from Netherlands. Was it Netherlands when she went back when people told her why was she wearing the hijab in a very traditional way, in a very conservative way when she came to Iran. Was it her that posted a picture with a hat saying like, look, it's not a big deal?
No, that was from Sweden.
Oh, that was from Sweden. Yeah, okay.
That's like, oh my God, you read the book. Look, she wore a hat and she said that, wearing a hijab, it's like wearing a hat. And I commented on her Facebook page that if you want to really understand how it means to be forced to wear hijab, wear that hat every day for 40 years, then you can understand what it means.
I still think it's not the same thing because it would be her choice. But this is the example I give to people for them to understand. And you tell me if this is a good example. Sure. Let's say you come to my house and I'm talking to you and my wife comes and interrupts us. And I tell her, and me and you are standing, the three of us are standing, all right? And I tell my wife, you should not have done that. Go sit in the corner and think about what you've done. And she listens to me and she goes sits in the corner. And somebody looks at me and says, what was that? How are you treating your wife? And I'm like, that's not a big deal. We're both like sitting down is not a big deal. She's just sitting there. In fact, I'm tired. I might want to even sit down right now. But that's not the point. I think the fact when you can tell her to sit down like that, that tells you a lot more than just this act of sitting down. That tells you a lot. That tells you about the position she has in this family and how much she is worth in this family. So it's the act of sitting down is not the point. What it represents about how I treat her in general.
That's it. That's why I always say that what's going on behind the veil, it's more important than the veil itself. So we have to go beyond the veil to understand how it means to be forced to wear it. So when the Swedish minister says that, just wearing a veil is like wearing a hat, I wrote a comment to make her understand that when you want to understand how it means to be forced, think about it. Have you ever get bitten up if you took off your hat? Have you ever get, men pointing out that cover yourself, otherwise, I'm going to kick you out from your own country? We are not able to get a job. We are not able to get an education. We are not able to live in our own country if we don't wear that hat by force. So my comments get more likes than her post itself. So she deleted her post. Right. And she made an apology. And
wow. This shows that, the taking off the hijab by these women in Iran is not just about the hijab. This is not just saying no to mandatory hijab. This is saying no to every single mistreatment, saying no to all of it. It's a big...
That's it. That's why I always say that when we fighting against compulsory hijab, we are not fighting against a small piece of cloth. We are fighting against, the philosophy behind it. We are fighting for our dignity. We are fighting for our identity. When you're forced to carry a fake identity from the age of 7, that's it. That's it. When those governments do not let the half of the population to make decision for their own body, then these governments are not going to let you to make decision about, the rest of your life. You are forced to carry the most visible of Islamic Republic of Iran on your own body. It's like your body has been taken like hostage by Islamic Republic of Iran. So you are like a hostage. Then, okay, every year you have election, which, I have to say, I was the victim of this kind of misinterpretation of this is not a big issue. When I was a parliamentary journalist, I was like saying, I can wear a chador, I can wear a hijab, but I want to expose the corruption in Islamic Republic of Iran. So I was brainwashed that your body is not important. Your head is not important. Your choice is not important. There are so many bigger problems. So you see, I was coming from that field that somebody just, made me to carry this fake identity and saying that this is not a big deal. I can carry that. But as soon as I found out that any time when I ask a simple question in Iranian parliament as a parliamentary journalist, when the politicians are not happy with my question, guess what they do? They attack my sexuality and they attack my hijab.
Actually, can I talk about this?
Yeah.
Because I was so surprised. They told in their book. Okay, this is so bizarre. Okay, you know what the accusation is? What they charge? What the stories behind her is to make her look bad. The story was that she was raped, and I was like, wait, how is that bad?
For Masih.
How is that bad for Masih? Like, aren't you? Who's the rapist? Like, are you trying to, like, you're trying to make her look bad by saying she was raped? And this is the story that they were spreading around, that she was raped. Like, okay, but you have to see how fucked up the attitude is.
That actually shows the mindset of this government. Actually, women from Pakistan, I think they can relate with this story. Yeah. According to them, as a woman, if you're raped, it's your fault. And you are ashamed to your family. You're ashamed to the whole society. So when
honor system.
Exactly. So, when my campaign got successful, they couldn't do anything. They couldn't stop the women to send their videos and photos to me. Instead, they started to discredit me by saying that Masih was raped. But this is
so weird, because here, like, people here think like, okay, when somebody is raped, that's when people come to support and like, oh my God, what happened to you? The whole, that's when you go and support them. That's when you give them the attention. But in their minds, when they say you're raped, that's how they discredit you. And there's that's so bizarre. And it shows how much, I didn't even know that. I think my family lived in like Shemron. So, so I think I didn't know these kind of attitudes that most people had.
Your mom or your family would support you. But if you grow up in a traditional small village, you have to work on it.
Right.
You have to work on the mindset of the people. Like, I'm not saying all people in the village, but still,
even southern Tehran, yeah.
Yeah, even what happened to Iran Shah? 40 women were raped. Only 3 of them made a legal complaint in the in judiciary system. Why? Because they still think that if a woman was raped, it's her fault. Yeah. So I had to talk to my mother. I had to talk to my family that, come on, guys, I was not raped. This is a big lie. But imagine if it was true that you have to come and support me instead of saying that you brought shame in the family. That's a struggle.
That makes no fucking sense.
That's exactly what happens in Pakistan. They actually, a lot of times, especially in villages, if girls are raped, then because of the shame, they will kill the daughter. They know it's not her fault, right? But they will just say she brought shame on the family. How are we going to show our faces to everybody? So then they'll kill their own daughter.
You mentioned your mom. Your mom was so amazing. Okay, so she's very religious. She's very conservative, but I really loved her in your book. She was so. And my favorite part was when you got kicked out of school.
Oh my gosh.
And she was trying to talk to the officials to get you back in. And her and they like, look, they kicked you out. And the excuse was, you're doubting God. You're doubting in love, right?
Yeah, that's what my mom said. My mom said the best thing, that none of the, feminists, none of the, nobody can say that in a really logic way.
Yeah, and your mom, and just to be clear, your mom was not educated. She didn't know poetry. She didn't know any of this, but she came out with the best. She said to the guy, look, when you're trying to pick apples from the tree, when you are tending an apple tree, the apples that are the apples the ones that are what do you say? How did you say it? Can you say it? You say it.
اون سیبی که کرم خورده، اون سیبی که کرم خورده و آب دیده و دمیج شده. اون نیاز به تیکر بیشتری داره.
She said the apples that are damage free, they are easy to make. They are easy. They have no work. But the tree that has worms, that has the apples are damaged, that's the tree that you need to work on. That's the tree that you need to tend to. You say it in a much better way. I'm not doing it justice in the book. Okay?
Yeah, and she said that. Yeah, she says that as an educational system, you're not doing a great job to look after to those students who already are good.
No, she said you're like a gardener. You're tending trees, okay? You shouldn't focus on the trees that are already good, that are already giving you nice apples. You should you should tend the trees that have problems. That's where you should focus your attention to. And my daughter, I know she's a challenge. Okay. Yes, she's doubting Islam. She's doubting God, but that's a challenge for you. That's where you shouldn't abandon her. It's your job as a gardener, as a tree taker, to focus your attention on her. And that guy was so impressed that they removed you from that school and sent you into one of the best schools.
Because my mom made it.
Right.
She made it. And she did that several times. I'm going to give you another example. As I told you, in a poor house in a village, you cannot have a inside bathroom. None of the people in the village had like inside bathroom. It was like, but my brother said that it's my dream to have an inside bathroom. I was laughing like loud and having tears on my eyes out of laughing.
Does your brother hate you for putting that in the book?
Yes, I know. And I used to tell my brother that you want to have inside bathroom? You mean you're going to have a bathroom next to the place that you eat and you sleep? I couldn't even imagine that people can have inside bathroom.
Just to be clear to people in Iran, and mostly outside of the city, the washroom is not connected, is outside of your house because it's so dirty that this whole idea of having a washroom inside your house was very foreign, right? But
there's a whole movie. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called Toilet. I can't remember, but there's a movie about an Indian village where there's this girl who is more well-to-do, and she moves in. She gets married to a guy in a village, and I think this is a Hindu family. And they have a bathroom outside and it's based on a true story where the entire movie is about her fight to have a bathroom inside the house. And
that's me.
I'll send you the link to that movie. It's actually
please, because that was the biggest challenge for me in my childhood, that fighting with my brother, because my brother was scared of darkness. My brother was really scared of going to the backyard garden and use the outhouse, and he was always having this dream that I'm going to have an inside bathroom. I was like, oh my God, it's impossible. And I remember my mom used to tell me that never beg anyone to take you to bathroom, because it's your life. And the whole your life, you have to beg someone to do something for your, for you. Yeah. And she used to say that darkness is like a monster. And if you let your fear win, then the darkness can devour you. But if you stare into the darkness, then the shadow will disappear. The darkness will disappear. And as a kid, I used to think, oh my God. So it's just you need to open your eyes as wide as you can. Then the darkness can disappear. Yeah, it worked. So that is the way that my mother used to teach me to fight against the darkness. And as a troublemaker, I experienced a lot of darkness. I got expelled from high school. I got expelled from Iranian parliament. I got expelled from my village. I got expelled from my country.
You went to jail. Yeah.
I went to jail. How could I fight against the darkness? My mom said, just open your eyes.
Your mom saved you a whole bunch of times in this story. She was really there for you. And this was not even the best part. The best part, and I remember the story, I just didn't know it was you. The best part is when you went to President Khatami and your mom was on the phone, and your mom was like, get the president on the phone with me. I have something to tell. And you're like, I'm not gonna do that. You have to do. And you went up, and you're like, Mr. President, my mom wants to speak to you. And the president got the phone. Go on.
There's a photo on Reuters.
I saw that.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it's on Reuters or AP. There's a photo of me and President Khatami. And our head is like that close. The phone is in the middle, and people were wondering why. But the caption is that President Khatami is talking to Masih Alinejad's mother. So guess what? Why that I was like that close and listening to the phone at the same time? Because my mother is from a village and she cannot speak. She still cannot speak Persian.
Yeah.
So she only
What's the language she speaks?
Mazani. She only speaks on her own dialect.
Right.
So she was just saying, من عمامت رو سرت میبندم اگه اتفاقی برای بچه‌م بیفته but in her own dialect من عمامت سر پیشمه نه بچه اتفاق نکرده. And I was like, okay, President Khatami, my mom says that you have to take care, you are in charge to take care of all journalists. That's what she said.
I found the picture.
Okay,
hold on. Armin, I'll send it to you. Maybe you can put it on
do a screen share with Skype. It will just show up on your screen.
Yeah, so you see, this is my mother.
So let me just translate for people. So your mom said, what is it called in English? What is Ali, what is it called when the mullahs, when they put it on their...
My mom was shy to say that. She said that, I told my daughter, if any mullah hurts you, I'm going to... این عمامش رو دور گردنش میپیچم. So she didn't directly say to Khatami because she's so smart.
She said it to you, but you translated a PC version of it. So she said to the president that if any mullah hurts my daughter, I'm going to take out the thing around their head and I'm gonna tie it around their neck. Right? So your translation was like, oh, my mom is saying you have to protect our journalists. We should
because it was the time actually I got expelled from the parliament.
Right.
And I was do you have me on the Skype?
Oh, just send it to me, I'll show it. Oh.
Yeah, I'm having trouble showing it, so I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
And that time I got expelled from Iranian parliament, and I was really under pressure. Oh my God, this is the picture. Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah.
But Armin, you know what happened to me after that photo?
Right.
When I was in Iran, I got attacked by from the conservative newspapers saying that look, this Rais Jumhur Fasid is getting that close to a woman.
They're saying this dirty president is getting so close to a woman that they're saying it's un-Islamic to be that close to a woman. That was the coverage they got.
Yeah, and then when I left Iran, I got attacked by some of the opposition saying that, you see, this Masih is part of the regime. Look how she got close to that president.
Oh, and from the other side, the people that from the people that are against the Islamic regime, they attacked her and saying her like, look how she close. Oh wait, did they say that in Persian or did they say that in English?
No, in Persian.
Oh yeah,
Persian.
How close she is to look how close she is to the president. She's a pro-government person. So you get basically attacked from supporters of the government and people against the government. That's usually a sign that you have hit the right balance.
Yeah,
I always get attacked from every different sides, and I get confused that now this is insulting me, this is cursing me. Which side they're coming from? But the true story behind this photo was like my mom was really mad at the president that why they expelled my daughter from parliament. She just exposed the corruption. My mom actually used to say that you have to get an award because you were the one that exposing the corruption, that why they expelled you.
Right.
So she's complaining to the president of Iran, and I was translating what she was saying.
This was at the book fair in Iran, right? I was there. I actually saw Khatami there. I was there. I was there buying books.
Really?
Yeah. I saw Khatami. I came home. I told my parents, I saw Khatami today. So
you guys were both there.
Well, I wasn't.
Same time.
Well, I didn't see that scene. I just remember him coming out of one of the bookstores, and I just saw him. I was like, "Oh my God! I just saw the most famous person in Iran." I was so proud of him.
Yeah, but that time, I have to say that time we had hope on him. You know,
we did. I voted for him.
Yeah, there were so many people. They had hope on him.
Yeah.
And
it's a show. People, this is what they say. Islah talab usulgara dige tamum majara. People are saying that the whole reformist thing is a show. It's just to give people hope, but nothing is going to change. Is that your understanding?
Yeah, because I was actually working as a reformist journalist, and what happened. To me, it's an example. I don't want to make it personal, but what happened to me, it's an example to what's happening in the young generation in Iran. They actually did the same. I had hope on Khatami.
Right.
Nothing happened. Still in 21st century, I'm not allowed to make decision for my own body. And the next generation, they had the same hope on President Rouhani, which I didn't vote for him, but they had the same hope. that they're going to get rid of morality police, they're going to have the right to enter a stadium, they're going to get rid of poverty, they're going to have better opportunity for job. And what happened? Nothing.
So it didn't happen because they can't do anything, or it didn't happen because it was by design to give people hope? Like, are they...
Look, I have to say that when it comes to women's rights, they are all thinking the same way. Maybe some people say that I'm exaggerating, but look what's going on in their personal life. You never see President Rouhani's wife. You never see President Khatami's wife. You never see them, when they watch football on their own. So sometimes I say that, maybe President Rouhani wants to open the door of the stadium, but he cannot. But he can do something inside his house. But every time when he's watching the World Cup, he's just sitting on his own. If he really believes in women's rights, you have to see that he's doing that in her personal life as well. You never see that. And he's the main architect of compulsory hijab, as I read in his memoir. He said that, when he was introducing hijab to the women after the revolution, he said that women were nagging. So actually, women were protesting. So he said that women were nagging. And I was firm enough to say that don't let, to the...
and this is a recent... This was not a footage from him back in the day. This was a footage from him. So...
Yeah, not at all. So his book was just written like a few years ago.
Right.
And he was actually explaining, and he used the term nagging. So imagine some people say that he has changed, but he's in power right now. If he really has changed, then he has to do something in practice. We don't need anything he always gives a smile and say something in theory. He's not a journalist. He's not an activist. He's not he is the president of Iran. He's the one who introduced compulsory hijab, and he has to do something. He has the power to do it. So to answer to your question, you say that whether he has the power to do something or not. I just want to, take you back to the time when he was running for, he was having his campaign for the presidential election. He said that I'm going to remove morality police. I'm going to push back for having women have greater freedom. So that time, none of the supporters from Reformist Party, none of them said that he doesn't have the power to do that. Right. They all said, let's vote for him just because of that. And now when we criticize the president of Iran that why you don't allow women to enter stadium, why you don't remove the morality police, why women do not have the right to choose what they want to wear, they said that, this is from hardliner. So, but why you invited women to vote? Why you opened the door of the stadiums? Outside Iran, I'm going to just give you another example. Outside Iran, that was actually the president's decision. They opened the door of all the embassies outside Iran. And women were allowed to go and vote for the presidential election unveiled. So you were not forced to wear hijab. But after the election, I myself went to the Iran interest section in Washington, D.C. They didn't let me in because I was unveiled. And I asked the guy that why you let women to vote for President Rouhani unveiled, but now you're kicking me out. That shows, the mindset of this government. When they need you, they open the door of the stadiums and embassies. But when they don't need you, then they don't do anything. So that is why I don't believe that they are under pressure from hardliners. If they are under pressure from the hardliners, they shouldn't give hope to people.
So are they doing this, the reform thing? Are they sort of just putting on this face? Because, it's kind of interesting because that sort of seems like they know that a lot of the public is not with them, is not as hardline as them.
Yeah,
it's a sort of acknowledgement of it. So they're like, okay, well, maybe if we say we're reform, maybe if we say that we're progressive, then more people will vote for us because that's where the public is at. So they kind of know that.
Yeah. I strongly believe that when it comes to Islamic Republic of Iran, they all believe in this regime. None of them are looking for a secular democrat regime. None of them. That's just obvious to us. But we have been brainwashed for years and years, I myself, that we cannot do anything. So that is why we have to choose between bad and badtar. We have to choose between bad and worse.
Yeah.
So we did. And what happened? That it comes to choose between wars and disaster.
Right.
So this is the result now.
So
and that is, I think, through social media. The young generation, they got together. All people who believe in secular democrat regime, they just got together and they found that they have the power to choose a good regime, not just between bad and worse or worse and disaster.
Masih, when you talk about the young generation, is this so I know that a vast majority of the population of Iran right now is under 30, right? I think most of them are up to 70%, I think, are under 35 or under 30. Now, is this a phenomenon, the need for or the desire to be more progressive and to become more modern? Is this central to Tehran and the cities, or is it something that is throughout?
I have to say that now we cannot just say that this is just the more progressive part of the society and young generation. When I say the young generation, they are actually challenging them through social media. I was using the word social media, that you can hear the voice of those people who are asking for regime change, who are asking for secular democrat regime. But the thing is, now the Islamic Republic of Iran lost their fundamental supporters, like the workers, like the farmers, the teachers, those people actually who were supporting the Islamic Republic, Bazaar, the middle class. Now it's not just about the young generation who want to have a greater freedom, who want to have a better life, who want to have the normal life as they see around the world. Now it's not just about them. When I'm in touch with a lot of people. They always send videos and photos to me. And I myself get shocked that a simple farmer from a small village send me a video through Telegram, through WhatsApp, and saying that, we don't want the clerics to run the country. So they're fed up. Again, they're tired of seeing all these useless clerics being in power and repeating their promises every year, but they haven't benefited from. So these people are not the young generation. These people are not the middle class. These people who are actually participated the Iran protests like 6 months ago, few months ago. They were not just people from Tehran. They were not people from the big town in Iran. They were actually people from some town and city that we've never actually heard of the name of the town. Armin, that.
Yeah.
So
this is the difference between these protests and the Green Revolution.
2009 protest.
Yeah.
2009 protest. It was about the stolen election, but when the brutality happened, they cracked down and they savagely beaten up people, killed people. Then people challenge the whole regime. But again, the main reason was about the election. But Iran protest was not about the election. Some people might say that it is started because of the economic situation and Rouhani's the people who were like مخالفان روحانی
anti-clerical.
Huh? Anti-Rouhani.
Rouhani specifically, right?
So
Mukhalifani,
Okay.
Yeah, they managed the protest. They might claim that.
Oh, yeah. So, it started in Mashhad by the people that were against the president, but then it got out of their hand and everybody picked it up.
It spread from there,
so
right?
You're saying that's not the true story?
I'm saying that if it was anti-Rouhani, if it was from people who were just trying to challenge Rouhani's government, but in the first day, it went beyond that.
Yeah.
People were chanting death to the dictator. People were chanting all clerics must be gone. Right. So that actually shows that, you can't just say that now the protest and the Iran protest was from, those people who were trying to challenge Rouhani.
So I have so many questions. I don't know if we're going to go through this. So
no, I think we're over now, guys.
No, no. I want. So based on what you just said, do you think that what are the chances of? A lot of people think this is it. This is the regime is falling. There's going to be regime change. But I tell them that I've been hearing this forever. And other people say that I've been hearing this for the past 40 years, right? Do you really think this time is different? Do you think, or do you think there's a chance that this regime is going to fall or anything like that? And is that a good thing?
Let me tell you something. Some people might say that, we have been hearing that for a long time about regime change. But don't forget, we have been hearing about reform for a long time as well.
Right.
Some people tell that, you've been saying no to compulsory hijab for 4 years, but the Islamic Republic of Iran promoting hijab for 40 years. So this is the battle. This is, how come that they have, promoting their ideology non-stop, tireless, but we have to be the same. We have to do the same. We have a long way to go, and if we are together, then we are stronger.
But,
go on.
No, you go. No, finish.
So I'm saying that this is a battle. If you lose hope and you're saying that, oh my God, we have been saying that for a long time, then you're going to lose the battle.
Right.
That change comes within the society. Through these people, we need international community to recognize Iran protests, to recognize women's rights, women's protests. But the main change coming within the society, and that is why I strongly believe that we have to empower the people inside Iran.
So two questions. No, I want to follow up on that because she said something very important. 2 questions on that, which you might get a lot of pushback. I think you must already. What you mentioned, you need to get international support. Yeah. A lot of Iranians will say like, this has nothing to do with foreign countries. We don't need foreign intervention. Even the ones that are against the government, like, this is our fight. You delegitimize our fight if you involve foreign entities. You give them the narrative that this is not an Iranian revolution. This is foreign country agenda. And
let me make it clear. No, you cannot, because I got the point. Look, This is really, really important. When the Green Movement happened, all the reformists were sending letter to Obama asking the United Nations to support Green Movement. They were all from reformists. And I can actually send you the letter that they asked the United Nations. They asked, they took the picture of all those people who got killed in front of the former president of Iran, Ahmadinejad, the former foreign minister of Iran, Mottaki, and they were asking for international support. I can show you all the links that the reformists actually had a gathering around the world and holding the picture of political prisoners. They were looking for international community to support them. Nothing has changed. There is a still protest inside Iran, and we are asking international community to recognize this protest. And I'm going to give you another example. When Catherine Ashton went to Iran before Iran deal, what happened? Her condition was that I have to meet with Iranian activists, human rights activists. It was before Iran deal, and she did. She met with Narges Mohammadi. She met with the mother of Sattar Beheshti, one of the bloggers who got killed in Iranian prison. What happened after the deal? Federico Mogherini went to Iran, but she totally ignored human rights activists. So that actually shows that, the reformist government and the Western feminist and Western government, they actually get together and they care about the deal. They care about commercial contract. They care about business. They totally forget about human rights. What I'm actually asking and I'm looking is just do not bury human rights under your political agenda and recognize the people who are sacrificing their life, who are still in prison, fighting for a better life, fighting for better opportunity, fighting for greater freedom, but you're using them in some occasion. Right. That is why nobody can say that why you're looking for international community support when you see that they actually doing that, were doing this before the deal and when Ahmadinejad was in power. Okay,
so second question regarding the same thing. A lot of people say that, a lot of people that might even hate this government say, like, look, there is no alternative right now to this government. If this government falls, you have the Mujahideen Khalq, the MEK, the Pahlaviya, they don't have Saltanat Taraba, the monarchists, they don't have much of an organization going on. So what will happen is either another Shia regime will come take over, or and all these Kurds and the Azeris and the Arabs will come and they will try to become their own country, and the Tajik.
Yeah, Armin John, this is a serious conversation, and we cannot just.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going beyond my book. It's going beyond my campaign, and we need another time to talk about this. But I want to say something. Anytime when people in Iran stand up for their rights, there is a Lulu Sara Kharman. There is something that they
Sorry, what is that? Can you translate it, Armin?
I didn't know how to translate that.
I'm going to say that. Anytime when people have the power to challenge the regime. The regime comes with a strategy to scare the people, to scare the protesters of something, and make them understand that you have no better.
Boogeyman. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have no better choice. Yeah. You might end up to have Daesh, ISIS. You might end up to have the situation like Syria. Right. You might end up to have Mujahideen Khalq. No. Nowadays, people are mature. People are aware of what's going on around the world. And you cannot just scare people and then tell them that there is no better choice than Islamic Republic of Iran. Islamic Republic of Iran are killing the people, executing the people, not giving people for their basic rights. What we have to do is this, challenging the government and be aware of what's going on around us. Right. Of course, we're not going to.
Can we go back to your book? I want to mention something else. But Ali, go ahead. I want to go back to a story in the book.
I'm going to give the platform to Ali. Ali, go on.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. And it's 9 o'clock. We're coming up to 90 minutes. It's flown by. But do you have another?
I have more questions.
No, sorry. No, for next time. It's when it's getting long. People are going to just turn.
Okay. So I wanted to ask actually some specific questions that that will be of interest to our audience. That people asked me to ask you. One is that when you talked about international recognition, right now you have all of this stuff happening here with the Trump and the far right and everything. And there's this crackdown on Muslims in the West, and there's this hijab movement where. You have the women's march happening and women wearing hijab. So one of the things that I got from your book is that really a lot of this is about choice. It's about choice. And it like you said, it's not just about the piece of cloth. It's about autonomy, and it's about agency, and it's about choice. So how do you are you disappointed with some of the reaction of Western feminists who are wearing the hijab to show solidarity, or are you do you consider them allies in any way, or is it somewhere in the middle?
Look, I have to say that I am angry with some of the Western feminists who keep silence when it comes to Islamic Republic of Iran and compulsory hijab, but they condemn burkini ban, they condemn Muslim ban, but when it comes to us, they patronize us and they downplay our cause.
Right.
I am angry with that, but I still think that we have to invite all the liberals, left, and then Western feminists to join our cause, because when you are a true feminist and you see anything happening in the name of Islam or Sharia laws in Islamic country, you cannot keep silent. When burkini ban happened in France, I condemn that, because I don't believe that you can bring ban is not working. Compulsion is not working anymore. So that when travel ban happened, I condemn travel ban. I took to the street and protest travel ban, because I strongly believe that Donald Trump's ban never affect the oppressors, never affect Islamic Republic of Iran. It only affects the people like me and, many others.
And us. Yeah. All of us.
Yeah. So, and I protest against travel ban. So why, when women are banned to enter in a beautiful country just because of a discriminatory laws, everyone keeps silent? I call this women ban. If we have travel ban in the United States of America, we have women ban in Islamic Republic of Iran. All women, female athletes.
That's a great way to frame it. I wanted to.
No, Ali, can you tell us, Masih, can you tell us about the first time you took off your hijab in public? Just really quick.
Okay. The first time when I took off my hijab when I was a teenager, by accident, I saw my father in my village, and he spat on me because he oh my God, he told me that you brought shame in the family. You brought shame in our society by taking off your chador, your black long chador. I didn't even take off my hijab. Then, I started to have my freedom in stealth, in secret, when my father was not around, when police was not around. Then I went to Lebanon, and oh my God, it was such an amazing feeling when I was walking around unveiled, feeling the wind in my hair. It was like, oh my God, this is beautiful. And I remember when I saw police from the first time, just suddenly I was looking for my headscarf and I got panicked that, police were around and women were walking unveiled and nobody said anything. So that was the first experience for me, being unveiled in public without getting attacked by morality police. That was the first experience. But
that's beautiful. Yeah.
Outside, in my media appearance, I just want to say that to make you understand that how difficult it is for women from the Middle East to take off their headscarf. It's not easy for us to take it off like overnight. I left Iran in 2009. I was unveiled. No, I didn't believe in hijab, but all my media appearance was with a black hat, my so-called hijab, my version of hijab.
Oh, I saw pictures of that.
I saw that. So guess what? Because I was telling myself that, in my small village, I brought a lot of shame to my family. In a small village, you cannot get pregnant as a woman out of marriage. I didn't have my wedding party and I was pregnant, and that was a scandal for my family. So they had to handle with this scandal. I got divorced. Getting divorced in a village. I was the first woman who got divorced in my village. That was another scandal. Biggest scandal. I was the first woman who got actually expelled from high school. I was the first one who got expelled from Iranian parliament. My mom, my father, was, what we can do. So many scandals.
But look at you now. I mean, that's everybody. I think that
none of those was bad, though. No,
it isn't. Every time you have a revolution, start as rebellions. All revolutions start as rebellions.
As a woman in a village, it was bad. That time, actually, I myself had to, to do my best to convince my mom that, I got pregnant. It was my fiance. I'm going to marry him. It's not bad, So when I left Iran, I said that I did everything to bring shame to my family. Let's just keep my hat. I want to say that in Persian, this one is really funny story. I had a talk in San Francisco, and my talk went viral. And then I had my hat and my so-called hijab. And then when my talk went viral, با بلوتوث رفت دست پدر مادر من توی دهات ما. And my mom was watching on my father was watching on the phone, and my mom said, "Oh my God, Ali, آرش مکیجو هنوز حجاب بدانه." He said that to my father, Ali, look, my daughter keeps her hijab, keeps her hat. And my father was looking at me, and then I started to say that for 30 years, we, the people of Iran, have been, scared of you, the government. And now this is the time that you, the regime, should be scared of us. And my father said that, من بری کلای دلار برینم بداره بالا تا پایین نظام و رژیم حبسن تو بری کنی.
What is that? Sorry.
Like, تو کلاهش این داره بالا تا پایین رژیم رو میشوره و میذاره تو کلاه اینو میکنی.
I don't give a crap about her hat. She's going against the government from top to down. She's like fighting a whole system.
The whole system, and now you're happy that she gives her hat. So you see, for my mom.
Okay, so her mom was always trying to defend her in the eyes of her dad. So everything she did wrong, she would go and to the dad like, oh, but she did this, but she did that. So she was like insulting the entire Iranian regime, which her dad supports. And your mom was like, oh, look, she's wearing her hijab. So the dad's like, I don't give a shit about her hijab. But look what listen to what she's saying.
The whole process for a woman like me to take off her hijab. And I used to think this is my identity. This is my choice. This is part of my body. This is a link between me and my family. And I used to say that a lot. But it was, it was all about not breaking my family's heart, not losing my community, not losing my, the link between me and my country. This is all, I keep hearing from a lot of women using the same argument to defend their hijab. And I say, oh my God, I hope one day, if they believe in hijab, that's good. But one day, if they don't believe in it, they're going to be, strong and have their own revolution against their own beliefs, their own, misunderstanding of hijab. And I hope that one day all women can understand that. They have to stand up for their own dignity.
Yeah. I have just Armin.
It's over now.
We have to go. So this is the last request. One of our patrons mentioned that she heard you singing an Afghani song in another podcast. By the way, our live chat patrons, they love you. Mona is saying you're so brave and inspiring, Masih. A lot of people are saying, no, please go on. We could go on for another 4 hours. So this is great.
Mike read about 20% of your book so far, and he loves it.
Oh, I'm so glad. I hope he's going to enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. I don't think
can you sing? This is our last request. Can you sing for us that song that you read? What was the show? I think I have the...
No, it was not a show, Armin. It was about when the Iranian state TV actually said that Masih Alinejad was raped by 3 men in London because she undressed herself. I was really mad, really, really... furious. And I didn't know what to do because I knew that it's going to hurt my family. It was an Iranian main news channel. And I knew that my parents in a village, they don't have access to internet. They believe in all, what the Iranian state TV says. So, and I just wanted to do something. And I just went to the subway, the place that they said that I was raped. So, and I went there and I started to sing. So the first song that came to my mind in reaction to the fake rape news was like, سرزمین من خسته خسته از جفایی، سرزمین من بی سرود بی صدایی، سرزمین من دردمند بی دوایی، سرزمین من بی آشیانه گشتم، خانه به خانه گشتم، بی تو همیشه باغم، شانه به شانه گشتم، سرزمین من خسته خسته ز جفای، سرزمین من بی سرود بی صدای، سرزمین من دردمند بی دوای، سرزمین من. ترجمه کنم. It's not my
wow. That is beautiful.
Oh my God, that was fantastic. We're gonna I'm gonna put the translation in the description. But
sure.
Yeah, great.
Masih, thank you. So you are just you're inspiring. You're a hero. Keep on doing what you're doing. I feel like it's just the beginning.
And the name of the book, guys, go read it. Go read it. I see some of the patrons. Mark is saying he just bought your book. The book is
you can buy the book. You're gonna enjoy it. Go, guys. Never take a wine to go to your friends. Just get a book, and it's gonna be my book.
You're not gonna regret this one. I guarantee it. The Wind in Her Hair. My Fight for Freedom in Iran. It's gonna be worth. You're gonna love it. I've rarely enjoyed a book this much.
Thank you so much, guys. I really enjoyed the conversation. Ali, Armin, thank you so much, both of you.
Thank you so much.
Just thank you for all of your work and everything you're doing. I mean, I have a feeling that we could probably go on for hours and hours if we went on.
I wanted to ask all the patron questions too, but maybe another time. Sorry, patrons, that we didn't go through all the questions. But
for next time, I strongly believe that change comes within the society, but through the women inside Iran. So when I talk about compulsory hijab, I always want to mention that we are not talking about a piece of cloth. We are talking about the power of women who are going to lead the next revolution in Iran. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
The secular jihadists have been made possible thanks to the Illuminati and the covert support of Israel and the CIA. That's what we have been told, but we haven't received our checks yet. If you like what we do, please support us. Share the podcast with your friends. Write and tweet us with topic and guest suggestions. Or head over to secularjihadist.com and give $1 or more for exclusive access to live video. Have your questions read and answered on the air and more. Till next time, may the flying spaghetti monster be with you.